Okay, a lesson on speed. I can feel you getting excited. Now, speed is always easier to achieve the fewer notes that you use. So if you're attempting a long line and a long run, you really want to break it down. Again, I recommend 4 notes, especially with hammer-ons. So for the riff Layla, which I demoed earlier, you really want to just break down those first 4 and have a gap in between each attempt, and a long enough gap for you to be able to analyse what just happened and how you can improve on it each time. So the best idea is to try and put it to some kind of beat behind it. If you use your metronome, start it off about half tempo, and we're going to go for these 4 notes from Layla. Okay, so to put that in a rhythm or timing, if you're not used to doing it, what we need to do is put it to this count of 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the focus of this lesson is really going to be on the hammer-ons. I'm not going to cover the bend. We cover that another time. It needs enough focus on its own to really do that. Okay, so the best way of getting used to the motions we were doing before to be able to pull off the hammer-ons is really just to repeat it over and over. Put it in a loop. Just loop those 4 notes. Move it up and down and get used to it. To increase that speed, that's maybe only going to get you so far because we need a short attempt at playing it quickly. I mean, if this is a motion that you've done before, you might just want to have a go at those 4 notes and playing it as quickly as you possibly can while still maintaining what the riff sounds like, because you may be able to do it. If this is completely new to you, then you'll want to try working with your metronome, keep it slowly at first, really getting the precise nature of it there and not try it too quickly, otherwise it just all falls apart. But it won't do once you've got used to the motions. 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 1. Okay, so I mean, at the minute we've only covered 4 notes, so how can we keep 4 notes interesting to get used to the mechanics of what we're playing? Well, a great thing to do is just keep that same motion but move it around the neck. So, like I covered in last lesson, we can move it down or further up, so we could still do from, say, 7th fret. Again, don't do it too far low because it will be a little bit too wide for your fingers. Moving it up a fret each time. So you can hopefully see there, especially with attempts to yourself, how momentum really helps. So we start slowly, get the motions there, and then quicken up so we can play at full speed. Another great way to keep technical exercises like this really interesting is not only to move them up or down in position, but try and put them into something that you already know. Always recommend the pentatonic scale. So how can we do that? We're going to keep his first finger in the same position, but imagine that that is the top of his pentatonic scale. So we've ended up here at 10th fret. Okay, walk down your pentatonic scale to the middle octave, and then we're going to go for same motion, but it's just something else that we can use to get there. Go for the next 2 strings, so your G and B string. And then finally where you ended up. So go for each one of those at a time. Don't at the minute go too higher. Don't go lower than that low octave. hopefully at some point we'll be able to not need that gap too much. Okay, then we can use what really happens in the riff and add that as well. So the next couple of notes to the riff, that's all the hammer-ons that we need. Let's add that to what we were just doing with the pentatonic scale. So we got... Okay, really important that you keep moving your first finger with this one. So it's a nice little run for you to get under your belt.